of me right here. Train 702. Bound for South Station. And we are at Readville. Jeez, that's loud. Off you go. Let's explore. You can see just about in the background, we have a train coming in. And that is a train from South Station coming through on what is called the Fairmount line. So let's go over there and see what that's all about. Also, I'll get to it better in a short while, but you'll see the amount that I go around this station. It's a relatively complex one to navigate if you're not familiar with the area. But this, at least, is the way to get to the Fairmount line. And of course, as you may remember me speaking about before, it's a slightly unusual track numbering system here, because despite the fact that this is a single track platform, see, Readville train, we're on track 4 of 5, despite the fact that this is on the eastern side of the station, the easternmost side. So track 4 of 5, you'd imagine this would either be track 1 or track 5, it being in order, but that's not how we do things here. Where you see that train coming through now, below there, we'll head there in a moment, there is tracks 1 and 2. And this being track 4, it's immediately adjacent to track number 2. And on the odd-even numbering system, odd tracks being out from Boston and inbound tracks being even numbers, that is why we have it the way we do. So this, the Via Fairmount service on the Fairmount line, also known as the Dorchester branch, is on track 4. So let's go and see the rest of them now. And indeed, tracks 2, 3 and 5, on the basis that number 4, right there behind us, going to the Franklin line and to the Stoughton line. Now, the Stoughton line is a little bit of a misnomer with that, because we don't really have any trains that stop here on services on the Stoughton line, or indeed the Providence line. Anything on the Northeast Corridor will come through the platforms and the tracks that I'm going to show you now. So we'll head down there in a moment, because we've got a couple of trains that are due to come through. But bear in mind, there are 3 tracks down here. And you know what? There's a train approaching, so go on, let's head down. Let's head down now and see what it's about. Perfect example of a non-stop train through this station. That was train 804, and unlike my video at Mansfield from the other day, link here, if I can try and put it in. I've never tried it before, so I'll try and put this link in this video. This is an example of a great place where trains, MBTA trains, the purple trains, don't stop here. And that is how close we get to them. Now, there are Amtrak services, of course, that go through here as well. So we'll see if we can catch a few of them in due course. Now, this is one of the public foot access points up to the Fairmount line. And I can hear a train dinging in the background, and that's making me think that the 7:15 service is heading off. There we are. So that there is a departure bound for South Station on the Fairmount line. First stop is Fairmount. Also on the way up here, I missed another train going through here fast. And I can hear that automatic train approaching. Please stand back from the yellow line or something. However they say it here, I've got to. Please remain behind the yellow line. I think That's actually a slightly delayed announcement, because I saw a train coming through and I think it was a service to Stoughton. But I'd rather would have seen you have a look at that Fairmount train just then. Should be able to get one from the centre track pretty shortly, because I think there'll be an Amtrak one doing just that. We'll revisit that in due course though. Let's carry on with that track guidance, shall we? I was wrong. I thought I saw the Stoughton train coming in, but no, that's the one. How beautiful! Woohoo! Silly me. That one you just saw, of course, was heading the same direction as that first one, and I've just made sure that I was deceived, that I was wrong, and yes, I was wrong. That was a service from Wickford Junction. That, I believe, was train 806. So sorry, you did actually miss something going through on that centre track. That's what I wanted to capture, but I've got plenty more opportunity to do that while I'm here, so fear not, we will get there. Pardon me as well, I forgot to formally introduce track 2 to you. Public, this is track 2. Track 2, public. Say hi. No, I can't, it's a sign. Anyway, track 2, as you saw from the footage there, is inbound to South Station. Now, notably, as is the case over there with track 3, which I'll come to shortly, these don't serve that much of a purpose. They are fully functional platforms. So if you want to board passengers here, you can do, but none of our services that get to these platforms serve Readville. Other lines do. Why we don't serve them, I'm not sure. Have we historically served them? I'm not sure. That's all part of the learning process.
Train approaching. Please remain behind yellow line.
That caught me out. I'll stay here, see what this is about. Be right back.
Approaching. Please remain behind yellow line. Train approaching. Please remain behind yellow line.
Anyway, I was going to go over to track 3. See there, track 3, 4, 5, which corresponds with that sign that was over there for tracks 2, 3 and 5. Because 4, of course, is over there, where that Fairmount train went. And I was going to show you platform 3. See, I'm never, ever, ever going to get out of the habit of saying platform instead of track. I do it most of the time now, I do say track, but sometimes the Britishness in me just slips out. Hence why I'm just wearing this shirt today. I like it. Anyway, track 3 now. And welcome, track 3, here we are. And no description whatsoever. But there's a good reason for that, because basically nothing stops here. Like I explained, over there on track 2, nothing really calls here on this line. This is simply a through line for services that are going towards Stoughton, towards Providence, elsewhere in the Northeast Corridor for Amtrak services. So this is nothing more than a glorified looking outpost, really, if you're general public. Now, for what it's worth, it does say outbound to Attleborough, but that's, take it from me, irrelevant right now. So that's track 3. Now let's go to where it all began, track 5. Be right back. And we're back on track number 5. Notable that track 5 is a dual direction track. It's a single track, or this portion at least is single track, before you head out down there onto the main line. So if you are coming from the Franklin direction, from Forge Park, from Franklin, from Walpole, wherever it may be, you head down these tracks, and about, I would say, 200 yards in the distance, a little too out of shot unfortunately to catch here, you then join the main line and swing over from track 1 to track 3 to carry your journey on in towards Boston. Similarly, you will swing across from the track 2 area over to track 5 if you're coming from Boston in here, and along this track where the single track continues a little longer prior to getting to Endicott, the next station on the line. So that there is your summary for track number 5. Don't worry about that bag, that's my bag. All is fine, that's my bag. I'm the only person on this platform right now. So no left luggage, but we're good, we're good. But that is track 5. Now, that of course means one outstanding question. Where's track 1? You've seen 4, you've seen 2, you've seen 3, you've seen 5. You've actually seen 1. But where is it? You've probably figured it out, but if you haven't, it's here.
Train approaching. Please remain behind yellow line.
That wasn't track 1, but let me explain what is. The answer to the track 1 question is that. Kind of seems self-explanatory now, but let me run through it and summarize. Where I'm standing right now remains track 3. This, physically, is track number 3. 2 tracks over. Where I was standing, where that first express train came through, that's track 2. Where I came from up there, track 5 for the Franklin line, track 4, hang on a sec. That brief intermission was brought to you by the MBTA Commuter Rail. Right, where was I? Up there, track number 4, the high level thing over there, track 4, Fairmount, track 5, Franklin. Track 3 here, track 2 there, and that leaves just that, track number 1, which of course is what can confuse Brits if they come to the States for the first time and travel on trains, because they don't use the terminology platform in the same manner on a public facing basis the way that I am used to. You heard already that it gets me confused. Still does, probably always will, but if you are boarding a train as a passenger here, you reference the track number. You don't reference the platform number. You'd probably be understood if you said platform, but best not to. But anyway, that's track 1, and that, I would like to think, concludes the comprehensive guide to the tracks at this station. But in this locality, there's more than just the tracks that you need to be aware of. Very, very useful facility is here. So I'm going to show you that from a distance now. This was a bit harder than I expected to get a good shot of, but hopefully through there you can see a carriage. Just one bi-level carriage in sight. And that is part of the complex of Readville Yard. It is a major yard on our network storage hub, and a lot of equipment goes from there to all over the network, to Providence, into South Station, actually starting at Readville, you name it, a lot of places. And it's a shame I couldn't get more of a good shot for it, but that is the other important bit, the crucial bit of why Readville is such an important place on the MBTA Commuter Rail. Now, a little surprise, heading on the way back to the station, which I didn't learn until yesterday when I was doing my final planning for the trip. I'm hungry. That's a big hint. You've probably guessed it. You've probably guessed it. America runs on it, don't you know? Hello, Duncan. Get me a bagel. Also, I am all for getting youngsters involved in recycling. But I just want to point something out to the city of Boston. Ducklings can't recycle. Sorry. Like, I know you mean well. It's very cute, but they can't. Sorry. And now back at Readville again, and it's time to relax with the glorious pink and orange bag. Will you excuse me? In the script. Cool. Oh wow. That's me saying this track was quiet. So, by sheer chance then, I got just about the only purposeful move on track 3, and that is that it actually is a bi-directional track. So that quite simply means that trains can move in both directions on this track if it is safe to do so. Now, further down there, just slightly out of sight, is an interlocking called transfer, and that is a case of it does exactly what it says on the tin. Transfer interlocking allows you to transfer from one side to the other, and what happened then was that train 866 from Stoughton to South Station was on time. The Wickford Junction train, the one that came through on track 3, was running about 11 minutes late as it was coming through. So rather than disturb the Stoughton train carried on track 2 as it normally would do, and that train stops further on the line at Hyde Park, at Ruggles, at Back Bay, and then ultimately into South Station. But in order to allow the Wickford Junction train, the train from Wickford, to continue at best possible speed, given that it was already late, the decision must have been made by dispatcher to get it on this platform instead, this track. See, I did it again, track, platform, platform, track. You know the difference. But it basically came in through here so that both trains could run at the same time. Now, crucially, nothing was due to go through track 1, either a commuter rail train or an Amtrak train, and hence why that move was possible at transfer for the Wickford Junction train to come across and continue its journey on the wrong line. And that is a scoop I did not expect to see today, so I am absolutely chuffed. Yay! So that's my guided tour of Readville all done, and that concludes another episode of Royce on the Rails. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all again on the line soon. Take care for now.